the diagram that's on the board, that is something to help guide you so that you could write everything down and take notes about all the particular pieces of the spray gun, their proper names, and the function of that part defined. So like the air cap is up there. The air cap, when you're tearing this down in front of me, I want to know that this air cap acts as a venturi. Okay? It has a center orifice that accelerates the material coming out of the fluid tip. It has auxiliary orifices that initiate atomization, and the air horns on this, they create a fan-shaped pattern. So that's like first piece that I'll remove from the gun. Then we're going to take out the fluid control knob. Okay? You want to catch it because it's got a spring there attached with it. The fluid control knob, it limits the travel of the next piece that I'm going to remove, the fluid needle. So you notice I take the fluid needle out before I take the fluid tip off. The fluid tip and the needle act as a valve. Now, why are they sized differently? Why would I want a larger setup with a fluid needle and fluid tip?
A little more paint through.
Adjust.
So the needle could actually like close the vent?
So that we can spray different materials, okay? Primers, sealers, base coats, all different viscosities. We need a bigger setup to spray primers than we do to spray base coats. So the definition that I'm looking for these two is just that they act as a valve. Okay, it's basically the valve that lets the paint come out of the paint gun. Then have the pattern control knob, and it just adjusts from a bullet to a fan pattern. You have the air valve on the gun, and the air valve allows air to enter and start working in the gun. We have the air inlet, and this is just where we're going to connect to our compressed air supply. So you notice when I took this apart, I took that fluid needle out before I took off the fluid tip. If you do it in the wrong order, I'm going to deduct points when I'm evaluating you, because if you have that fluid needle sticking out like this, that's just asking to bend that. So I always try to get it out, set it aside before I take the rest of the gun apart. The fluid tip, we need to be careful that we don't drop it, because if it were to land on the end of it, these are all precision machined parts, and it will cause the spray gun to spray like a defective pattern. Okay? So reassembly, just in the reverse order. I'm going to put the fluid tip in first, and I have this gun specifically set up so that you can take it apart and put it together. It's got oil on all the threads. Typically a spray gun that we're using all the time, we're not going to have oil on everything, so they're going to squeak and maybe be a little harder to start the threads. Once I get that in, I'm not going to like torque it down super tight, just barely past finger tight. Put the fluid needle in next. When you go to put the fluid control knob in, I like to take and push forward with my thumb, like hold on to it, push that in, and then start the threads on it. Makes it much easier to keep control over everything. Throw the air cap on it real quick. Set those air horns up. Now, maximum material. We're going to pull the trigger back. We're going to turn the fluid control knob in until it just bottoms out. And then I'm going to go like 1/8 of a turn more. That's as much as will ever come out. I can adjust the gun down to less for different spraying, doing different things, but I just don't want it opened up more than that. That's what you're going to do in front of me. You're going to take the gun apart, you're going to tell me what it all is, and put it all back together. Thank you.